Hi, this is AG Squared, and in today's video, I'm going to do my annual net worth reflection and assessment on how my actions altered my net worth year over year. So to get started, I need to actually pull up what last year's net worth breakdown was. And in order to do so, I'm actually going to use my own AG Squared YouTube channel to go back to my historical videos and just pull up what the oldest one is. And the first video I made was my journey to $1 million net worth, which you can find up here. Now, if you expand the description, you'll see I cover a wide range of topics. There's a lot of good stuff in this video that I'm very proud of, and that if I was interested in learning how to gain financial success, I would check it out. But I'm going to go ahead and click on net worth breakdown. And you'll see here, I kind of talk about my overall breakdown last year, but we're not going to go into that in this video. Instead, all I'm going to do is jump right to putting it side by side to this year's net worth. And so now that I'm here, let's go ahead asset by asset and let's do the following. Let's first take a look at the differences. I'll then talk about exactly how my actions may have altered that net worth. Now, before we go and start with real estate at the highest distribution amount, let's go ahead and celebrate. And that is that we went from $1 million net worth last year to now $1,400,000. That is something to celebrate. And we're going to do that later today by taking a glass of this Lagavulin 16 year, one of my favorites. And a huge shout out to Ron Swanson, the character from Parks and Rec, for introducing me to this wonderful beverage. So let's go ahead and get down to it. First thing, real estate. Last year we were at 54% is what it made up in my net worth. This year it makes up 51.36. Now, why the dip? Let me tell you this, it's not because my ROI was negative. If anything, my ROI is higher. Later on in the video, it'll make sense why the percentage distribution went down, however. But let's talk about my actions in this asset. Between last year and this year, I ended up purchasing a total of 3 additional properties. One I purchased and am residing in it today. The second one I purchased flat out as an investment property, but the caveat with that one is I actually sold another property and took all the profits without paying any taxes and applied it to buying this second property. But now I have a much smaller mortgage because all the profits from the first one I basically put in and just simply got more equity out of the second one. And this second property is giving me more cash flow every month than the previous one was. So all in all, that was a great decision. And the third property I purchased with a business partner. So because of that, my actual ownership and equity distribution of that is going to be lower. It's going to be 50%. What factors may have caused the amount to change, but the percentage of my distribution to go down in real estate? My overall amount has gone up substantially because of the properties I acquired. Properties I already had continue appreciating. Unlike this delusion that in areas that like Georgia, prices are going to go down, that is not going to happen. And so while people decide to wait for the prices to go down, I continue buying properties and I continue holding properties as they continue appreciating. It's just basic supply and demand, unfortunately. I am pro affordability. Unfortunately, it's a lot of macro and micro economic aspects are definitely not playing into the benefit of first-time home buyers and overall consumers. And that's the biggest portion of this. It's really just appreciation. My rental revenue hasn't gone up. My overall profit margins haven't gone up. So big bulk of this is me buying more into it and getting more and more appreciation over time. Like we said, why has the percent distribution gone down, however? And the answer is the second asset type here, which is stocks. Last year, we were at 18.08%. This year, we're at 22.43%. And let me tell you, not only has that percentage gone up 4 points, the amount in terms of dollar value has substantially gone up as well. Almost, I want to say, close to probably doubled. And the reason for that is most of my holdings in stocks is not my personal picks. I do have some of that in that. Approximately probably 20% are my own personal picks in stocks, but 80% is through my employer stocks. If there's one tip here I want to give to anyone in the job market, and it's that your compensation package isn't just your salary. It's not just your vacation days. If you're going to be applying to whether it's a startup or a very large recognized company, stock equity can be a huge boost. It can also, of course, be a risk. So you don't want it to become a majority of your overall net worth in case the company backfires and you're not only out of a job, but then your stocks might go down to zero, right? So don't put all your eggs in one basket. But for me, my employer is incredibly stabilized. We're in a very hot industry, and this has performed really, really well. And of course, all of those stock investments are things that I could be cashing out and spending it, but I haven't done any of that. Everything since I joined my employer many years ago, it just continues growing as that company's stock goes up. So tremendous success in my overall stock performance in that bracket. Next up, let's talk about retirement stock. Last year it was at 17.67%. This year it's at 16%. Same thing, Adrian. Why did it go down? Are your investment decisions causing you to lose money? No. Again, my overall dollar amount has gone up. The difference is, once again, that when you have a bracket like stocks that went from 18% to 22%, the other percent distribution are going to have to go down, right? So real estate went down. My overall Roth IRA went down slightly. And all of that, if you do the math, for the most part, it's going to kind of reflect why my stocks percentage went up. But retirement stock, the key thing here to cover is discipline. Every single paycheck, every single month, and therefore every year, I am putting money towards my retirement through my 401k, through my employer. And I'm getting my employer to give me some dollar matching benefit to that as well. So it's literally what I like to call free money. So as my 401k portfolio in the stock market goes up over time, so are my contributions. It's compounding gains. It really is just a huge enabler to wealth creation, especially if you're actually thinking about living past the age of 60 plus years of age. I'm not going to talk too much about the rest of the assets, but if you look at crypto, last year was at 1.83%. This year it's at 2.21%. Reflecting, I haven't purchased any more crypto in many years. I also don't plan on cashing it out. As you can see, it's only 2% of my net worth. It's what I call play money. I don't care about it, frankly. But go with Ethereum. I do believe that has much more value than just simply holding on to Bitcoin, which does resemble more of your typical holdings. Ethereum, you can actually do stuff with it instead of just bartering with it. So crypto, that's the change there. Cash, same thing. The only difference between last year and this year is now I have more cash. There's no ROI in cash unless you put it in a savings account, even in its negligible returns on the high savings account between 4 to 5%. CDs, technically, I would count as cash as well. Same thing, you can get anything from like 4 to 6%, just depending on the bank. So not much to talk about there. So let's just kind of recap and take a step back at exactly what lets me do this every single year. And it's discipline and rigor around finances. And I made a video of that up here if you are interested in really understanding more about how I hold myself accountable to being able to track my own expenses, hold myself accountable to a budget. Those two things are a prerequisite to being able to start even fathoming about having this type of return and wealth increase. 40% wealth increase year over year. That's something impressive. It really means that as an individual, I have found stability with my active income. I've created additional streams of income, and I've made really good selections in terms of assets to buy that will continuously appreciate over time, as well as give me those additional sources of income, in this case, my rental revenue. So I encourage anyone, I don't care if you're young, if you're in the middle of your life, or if you're towards the latter aspect, these are disciplines that are going to be curated to what your needs and goals are, but it's a discipline I really encourage folks to try out. And of course, if you have any comments, questions, thoughts, opinions about what I've talked about in my net worth, please feel free to do so. Please feel free to ask me questions. If you want to know about any other topics, please let me know in the comments below. But in the meantime, that's all I have for you all today. Thank you so much as always for joining. And if you found this video valuable, please consider liking it. It helps me out immensely. And also, if you are interested in more content around DIY projects, finance, real estate, investments, or technology topics as a whole, please give my YouTube channel a subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I post my next video. And as always, Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.